Over the last few months, with the extortionate rise in energy prices, there have been groups, all over social media, cashing in on the gullible and offering gas and electric meters supplied and fitted, with a fee, of course, with the illusion that you can save money on your gas and electric by removing the previous meters, break contract, and removing the middleman. This is not only wrong, it's totally illegal, and always ends up in the same scenario.
So just to let you know, I've had 6 officers break into my home with 2 British gas men.
There's only 4 of us, there's not 6.
There's 4 police officers and 2 men who claim to be from British Gas who refuse to give their identity.
But before we dive into the latest forced meter removal, with police assistance video, we take a look back how it all began. For one individual. April 25th, 2022.
Hello?
Calling from British Gas.
Oh, hi there.
Hi, is this Mrs. Is it Kellogg?
I'm not Mrs. No, it's Elizabeth. You can call me Elizabeth.
Okay, that's fine. I've got an address. The first 3 digits of the postcode is AL1. Can you just confirm the last 3 digits, please?
Yeah, 2EZ.
Amazing, thank you. Just to let you know as well, obviously all outbound calls are recorded for training and monitoring purposes. So I have received your complaints come through to me this morning, and I just wanted to have a quick chat with you, get a bit more information off you, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Obviously, let me just bring it up, because you sent in some letters.
Sorry, what's your name?
Kirsty.
Kirsty. Hi, Kirsty.
Yeah. So I've got, obviously you sent in some letters.
Correct, yes.
I just more wanted to have a chat about, obviously it says on there that you want the contract to be terminated.
Yeah.
We do have to ask, obviously, why that is. Are you going to like a different supplier or anything?
I don't think I need to answer that question.
Okay, it's only because obviously your account is still active with us. So obviously if you do change suppliers, it will eventually cross over to say that obviously you've changed suppliers. But obviously because there's a bill due,
yeah,
it's more obviously if you are changing, we can.
Yeah, I'm going to sort that bill out. I shall be sorting that credit out.
Okay.
In the next couple of weeks.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. With regards to your complaint, is there anything at all that I can do to progress it any further, or?
No, I've ended my so-called contract with British Gas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything else other than me ringing you today?
Have I done what, sorry?
Have you heard of anyone else other than me obviously ringing today?
No.
Oh, okay. I just don't understand why no one's been in touch sooner. Because he sent the letter in over.
Well, I've sent 3 notices of termination, and I've asked you to collect your meters, and I sent the last one last Wednesday as the final letter saying that you had 7 days to collect your meters, and I will be charging you for storing them at £10 a day per meter.
Say that again.
Because he sent the letter in over.
Well, I've sent 3 notices of termination, and I've asked you to collect your meters, and I sent the last one last Wednesday as the final letter saying that you had 7 days to collect your meters, and I will be charging you for storing them at £10 a day per meter.
6 months later!
So just to let you know, I've had 6 officers break into my home with 2 British gas men.
There's only 4 of us, there's not 6.
There's 4 police officers and 2 men who claim to be from British Gas who refuse to give their identity.
You've got one of their ID badges.
The police are actually assisting them in illegal operations. It is illegal to break into somebody's home unless it is in order to save somebody who's not in safety, so they've broken every rule in the book.
Bullshit level, DEFCON 5!
The only one who has broken every rule in the book is you, my dear, by following the advice of people online, and look where it's ended you. And to think you paid the meter fitter scammers for the privilege of ending up in this situation.
I've got all of their names and their numbers. This police officer in particular has accused me of, what was the word she used, assaulting her, because my elbow touched her shoulder.
No, it was actually the top of my head.
Oh, the top of your head. Oh, I'm so sorry, when I leaned over in my own house to see how many people had barged into my home. She's rather gobby, this one. And this man here is refusing to give his name or his ID, which is also illegal, and he's the one that came to me this morning, refusing to give any identification. And his accomplice is under the stairs putting in meters, again, all completely unlawful.
You broke the rules! You broke the rules! Everyone's gonna be mad because you broke the rules!
They have refused to show a warranty with wet ink. They tried showing it and reading it from a little iPhone, which is, again, unlawful.
Oh, we have a freeman of the land, with the old wet ink signature nonsense. This is a common myth among the freemen of the land lot, that if a warrant don't have a wet signature, it's invalid. This is wrong. The United Kingdom has legally recognized e-signatures for almost 2 decades. The electronic signatures regulations were passed by Parliament in 2002, as a result of a 1999 EU directive. In 2014, these were replaced by EU EIDAS regulation, which remained part of UK domestic law after Brexit.
Because there is no such thing as a legal contract or one of those, what's it called, Mandy? When they try and break into your home?
Get the common law book.
What's it called?
Consult it.
Take your pettiness and shove it where the sun doesn't shine. Okay?
Cheers, darling. Thank you for the advice. I needed that.
Good.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Because knowing I actually think is paramount to most human beings.
Indeed, I'm quite
Good. And there's, for a man who's standing there trying to intimidate a woman by his snide remarks isn't going to work, I'm afraid.
I'm replying to you as good as I
You
get.
did not reply to me. You actually made a statement.
You need to consult common law, I understand that. You need to consult the common law.
No, you told me to get my common law book out in a snide way. I'm not stupid. I'm not an imbecile. And I do not want to be intimidated by somebody or the likes of a man who can't even provide his ID.
6119, again, I've given you my ID number. So
I want your name, not your ID number.
No, I need to give you my ID number.
You're refusing to give your name, and the police have all allowed you to break into my home, and we don't even have a name. You've got sunglasses on earlier and a mask over your face, and no name. No name. I'm not assaulting you. My hand accidentally touched your bun.
And excuse me, police officer, can you please ask this man to stop trying to escalate the situation and actually make it worse than it is? Because I think that's your responsibility to keep the peace in this house.
Yeah, the peace,
So
the peace is being kept, isn't it?
So can
no
you
one's
please
been
ask-
assaulted. No, there's no damage being.
Well, I am assaulting your woman, apparently. This police officer keeps accusing me of assaulting her.
Man, while he's in this house, to keep his mouth shut.
If you guys do the same, then there'll be no issue.
This is my home. Just a reminder, this is my home. And I have every right to kick the lot of you out, quite frankly.
I would like to see you try. You would soon be meeting Mr. Sparky.
But given the fact that I'm assaulting her by touching her bun, I guess that if I try and get you out, you will assault me times 6 people. So I am not going to attempt my right to kick you out of my home right now. And that includes Mr. No Name. Will I be accused of assault if I try and push the man with the mask out of my home? Because I don't allow masked idiots into my home.
Well, yeah, because I'm a warrant officer with a warrant.
You're not a warrant officer because you haven't shown me a warrant. You haven't shown me any signed paper with wet ink. You got this woman to read from an iPhone a warrant that was not the full name and it was not in wet ink, so it was not a warrant. Thank you very much.
2022 wet warrants.
What's your name?
6119.
What's your name?
6119.
Doesn't that
don't waste your breath on them.
Doesn't that just
Don't
give
waste
you
your breath on them.
Doesn't that just give you a little inkling as to
Don't waste your breath on them.
Yeah. So the no-named man and the police officer that I keep assaulting because she's short and I keep accidentally touching her bum. No one in that corner. Can I get into my hallway, please? Or are you going to prevent me from going into my own hallway, officer?
If we think it's going to be a breach of the peace, then yeah.
What, you're going to accuse me from breaching the peace in my home when you've broken into my home? You think I'm going to breach the peace in my own home? I showed you earlier what I'm capable of doing with my voice and my energy! Because this is my home! This is my home that you have broken into! And you're laughing. You are laughing because you have broken into my home!
No need to shout in my ear.
No need to shout. Get out my home now.
I won't be getting out of your home.
Right, can I get out of my... Can you get out of my way, please?
Where would you like to go?
I would like to stand in the middle of the circle and show the world that you are breaking the law by being in my home from Mr. No Name, who has no name, who thinks he's got an illegal warrant that hasn't been written in ink. You can't produce a piece of paper. The warrant in itself is null and void. I'm a living woman, and that in itself is illegal. Go back to your director or your sergeant or whoever it is and explain to him that you're all breaking the law.
Are you stupid or something?
They're aware of the situation, so they should know better then. Have they not read up on this matter? Excuse me, please. Excuse me, please. Excuse me, please. Excuse me, please. Are you going to hold me prisoner in my kitchen?
You can go out into your living room, can't you?
I beg your pardon?
You could go out into your living room.
Why do I want to go in my living room?
Well, why do you want to come into the hallway?
They've broken... This is not for real. They've broken into my home and asked me why I want to go into my hallway.
I'd die for a cup of tea right now.
Yeah, me too.
I can't. They've cut everything off.
Oh, is it? Oh.
I was just about to put the kettle on.
Excuse me, can I walk through, please? My own hall.
Can I put my head back? Excuse me. How much longer before we can have a cup of tea?
You guys can have a cup of tea now or not?
No, there's no electricity, lovely.
Can't tell you.
Is there gas?
Can I? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Who wants a cup of tea?
Milk, 1 sugar, please.
Do you
No.
seriously want a cup of tea?
No, I'm not playing, Monday. I'm not playing. No.
No?
No, I'm not playing. No.
Don't worry about it.
No. No. Can I get through, please?
No, because they're doing work.
Can I get through, please?
You may prevent them from doing their work. So
Can I get through, please?
That's part of the breach of the peace. You can go into the living room, you can go into the kitchen.
That's not my living room, all right?
That's not your living room.
That's not my living room. Can I go? It's none of your business what that is. No, I'm not having a conversation. I'm not happy about this, okay? I'm meant to be with a client now, an elderly lady who I'm meant to be with, and instead I've got 6 people barging into my home, breaking my door down, changing the meters unlawfully.
The door was not damaged. My locksmith unlocked it professionally.
So you broke it into my property professionally?
No, actually use a slip, so it didn't manufacture a lock, use a slip.
So you've made entry without my permission. That is unlawful. Do you not know that that is unlawful, guys?
Not with a warrant.
You haven't given me a legal warrant. You haven't given me a legal warrant. A warrant is meant to be on a piece of paper with wetting from the judge, and you haven't done that. The cat, shut the door, shut the door! Shut the door, please. There's a kitten that's not allowed out. Would you shut the door?
Can I go and get my kitten, please? Excuse me.
Would you shut the door?
Oh yeah, we'll bring the kitten through.
Yeah.
Don't want to distress her. She hasn't done anything wrong.
There you go.
Thank you.
What's the cat's name?
This is Peony.
Peony. Lovely.
Good dog now.
I think we can open the door now.
Is it alright for the doors to be open?
Yeah.
Oh, she's safe, is she?
She's safe. Yeah, the cat's in there. Yeah.
Sorry, how long is this going to take, please?
We're not sure yet.
Oh, has anybody got something as a
Sorry?
because the pickle isn't working?
Oh, is it?
There's no electricity.
From upstairs.
I've just paid a lot of money to have all my electric and gas pass
Is it coming down?
the electric and gas tests.
You're just gonna have to say
Who's going to pay?
And there it is, folks. She has paid a lot of money to have her meter changed in for safety inspection tests, no doubt by the same people who fitted the meters, and all it's achieved is more debt for this individual, and more money in the pockets of the meter scammers.
Bit of an overkill is an understatement, Chris. It's an understatement, Gary.
No.
Have a good one. Oh, wrong one.
How long is this going to take?
So an hour and a half.
An hour and a half of the police time.
We need to provide all of the wine.
Unlawful. Completely and totally unlawful.
Right, I'm going through there. If she escapes, could you please?
Just keep your door shut.
I will try, but she is a bit of an escapee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just do a statement.
So, if anyone's jumped onto this, I've got 4 police officers here and 2 men from British Gas. Unlawfully entered my property, and Mr. Excuse me, would you stop taking up my hallway, because I'm going to get really irritated with you in a minute. Could you get out of the way, please, so I can move in my own home?
You can move behind me, but you're not.
Do not tell me I can move behind me. Do you understand me? Would you please move out of my hallway? I am trying to walk through my home. And Mr. No Name here, who is refusing to give his name. So there's no police on the streets. Would you stop leaning into me? Every time I try and move, you're leaning your body into me. Would you stop it? Or I will arrest you, citizen's arrest for abuse. Could you move out the way so I can walk through? Why not?
Because we've already told you, we're here to prevent the breach of the peace. If you go past me, there's going to be
breach the what peace? What peace? The peace that you've walked into my house and broken the door in to get into my property.
We haven't.
You have entered my property without permission. That in itself is unlawful. The lot of you are breaking the law. The lot of you are breaking the law. And don't worry, this will be dealt with in the right hands.
Is it on Facebook? Is that Facebook, is it? It's going on Facebook. Right. Oh.
Yeah, great. Ah, great. Ah. She got 4 police and 2 gasmen walk through her door without permission and change her meters without her permission, unlawfully. Ah, thank God for Facebook, hey?
Have you told Facebook that you've been bypassing the electricity and abstracted?
Say that again.
Have you told Facebook that you've been bypassing the electricity and abstracting?
Oh, yes, I have, and I've got it all recorded on YouTube as well. You can go onto my YouTube channel. All of it. No, I'm not famous, but you are, sweetheart. Especially your bun that I've been... What is it you said I've been doing? Molesting you or something?
Those words don't come out of my mouth. I said you assaulted me.
Assaulted you? I assaulted your bun.
No.
Oh, this is the girl that's got the bun that I've been assaulting.
You wouldn't like it if I grabbed hold of your hair, would you?
I did not grab hold of your hair. It's all on video, sweetheart.
Quiet. No one wants to hear you anymore.
Gee, get out of my house.
No.
Get out of my house. Get out of my house now. I have every right to push the lot of you out of my home. I am in my legal right to use the same force that you would use to get you out of my home. In fact, I'm in my right to get a milk bottle full of milk and throw it at you.
If you do that,
did you know
you'll
that?
be arrested, okay?
How old are you? 12?
Old enough to be in the job. Yeah, 1,500. Okay.
Yeah, corporate bullies. Yeah, the sad thing is, guys, that these police don't know the law, and they look. To be fair, they don't look much more than 16, and they don't actually know the law. And hopefully, when they do realise the law, they will remember today, because I doubt many people in St Albans have actually done this, so they probably haven't got much experience in dealing with the law, the real law. And they don't realise they're breaking the law. No, they don't know the law. They don't know the law at all. They're breaching their oaths right now. Right in my hallway, you guys are breaching your oaths and you don't even realise it.
Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit.
Well, maybe they do.
Well...
Or maybe they do realise it.
Well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? You know, makes you wonder.
I wouldn't like to make an assumption that they don't know that they're...
Well, I think, if I would imagine, I mean, I've always been a big fan of the police working in their integrity. Yeah, I think they're just very young and ignorant, unfortunately. And can you believe it, guys, to top it off, this is the man that gets moved more than anyone. The man that actually tried to gain access to my home is refusing to give his name. I mean, you can't get much more unlawful than that. He's got a great big face covering so you can't see who he is. And he won't give his name. And the police let him in. They let him break into my home. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Has he got any moles or anything where we can identify him when he gets into trouble and tries to do a runner?
Abstraction of electricity right here. You want to show your Facebook followers that? You were abstracting electricity by removing our meter?
That's my meter. It's not your meter, darling. No, you're an agent. I have never signed a contract with British Gas. I wasn't even with British Gas. I've spoken to the CEO. I've got all the documentation. I've got all the videos. I've spoken. I've even had an apology from British Gas. I've asked British Gas. British Gas called me to see if my complaint had been dealt with. I said it wasn't even a complaint. So don't try your smart-ass tactics on me, matey.
They're kind of working because my engineer's fitting a meter right now.
I know your engineers are putting a meter in right now, and I hope you're going to supply the safety certification that is required to go with it.
We'll do everything that he's required to do. Yes.
And you know I'm going to pull it all out, don't you?
You're live streaming on Facebook right now, so yeah, no, that's absolutely fine.
You're a bit obsessed by that, aren't you? Is it a problem for you?
No, not really.
No?
No.
What's your name then?
Really?
What's your name?
1619.
1619. Could you stop pushing into me? You're assaulting me, police officer. You're assaulting me. Would you stop pushing me? Please. I'm in my own home. Well, you called it a push when I touched you.
No,
or you
I said
touched
you hit me on the head.
I hit you on the head. Hit her on the head. Oh, she's only about 4 foot. I was leaning my arm to take a camera. I got accused of attacking her or assaulting her. Apparently the word assault has changed from when I was 16.
I mean, assault's always been the same, hasn't it?
When I was 16, darling, an assault wasn't touching somebody on the head.
The Offences Against Persons Act was made in 1861, so therefore, obviously it's going to have been the same when you...
Sorry, in 1861 we didn't have mobile phones and get evidence of what was actually going on. So let's.
Well, now you're recording all the evidence for us, aren't you?
That's right. I'm recording all the evidence. Absolutely, absolutely.
You're referring to which is, you know, it's over 100 years old.
Well, I'm glad you know some of the acts, darling, but you don't know the important ones, because the important act is that you're criminally breaking the law right now. You have allowed somebody to break into my home unlawfully. You are not allowed to give a warrant or serve a warrant to somebody to break into their home unless somebody is in danger. Okay, so you have personally broken the law, and you will be liable for the consequences of this break-in. I have had 6 people intimidating me this morning, barging into my home, not letting me walk out of my kitchen for the last hour now, okay, and you will be liable for this break of the law. Do you understand? Do you understand what I said? Are you working under oath?
Of course I am.
Oh, shut up, you cunt!